Good morning. Signing on just a little early to ensure everyone knows that I'm on and get my camera set up here. Getting on to Facebook now. How are you? What's going on? Hey, Teresa. All right, so getting Facebook all happy with me. Do. Wish there was like a double button I could do. Hey, Jesse. Just getting ready here to make a post. Come on. Write something. Can't be smooth. Trying to get that door out of my background here. I don't know why. No matter how I adjust everything, it just keeps popping in. Okay, so we're here. I got to grab my coffee cup. What coffee mug do you guys have? Can't get the angles the same. Man, it's all right. I'm going to roll with it. Have my R mug. So wherever you are, Rachel. What kind of mug do you guys have? It's just 7 o'clock, so hopefully people will be joining. I've got my Bob's Burger shirt on. Just trying to inspire hilarity wherever and whatever I'm into at the moment. And we're gonna do some shoulder work today. I'm very excited because I don't know about you guys, but I am very privileged to work from home. But within that privilege comes a lot of this. Hey, the happiest cat, welcome, right? A lot of hunching, a lot of rounding, sometimes I kind of find myself tilting because I listen. And so I will literally tilt my head, hey, Brian, like this to listen, which throws my shoulders off big time. So, are you guys noticing any funky body stuff? Feel free to leave that in the comment section or the chat. There's not enough coffee in the world for energy. So as we start to settle in, it's just 7:01, so we've just started. I found that a lot of people tune in right now instead of earlier, even though I am awake for several hours at this point, because my kid gets up. So we want to be up before her. So that's why we're here right now. Just getting into the place of rest. I really want to open my windows today, even though I know it's freezing outside. I just want some air. I don't know if you're noticing that. So let's just be in the present moment. And we will be working on shoulders. That's why I was talking about all the rounding that I'm noticing. I went to my office to get a chair, but my kid, I was so worried about her touching everything in my office that I actually forgot to bring my chair home yesterday. But I did bring my plants home, which I'll put a post up about that later. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Tina, for the awkward teenager in us all. So yeah, I think for stuff like this in challenging times, we need humor wherever we can. So I've got my Tina shirt. I've got these awesome planetary leggings on, right? The stars. So got my R mug. We're going to do some shoulder work later, but let's just notice the points of tension that we're experiencing. I really should have gotten my chair yesterday. I'm going to have to go out again. I can't believe I did that. So being present with what is, I'm going to have to let it go that I made a trip and did not get all of the things I wanted, though there were some checks in my mailbox. Thank you. Yeah, some legging shout outs. So what points of tension are you noticing? Are you like me and you're like, tension in your shoulders? Is there some other space? Is it your neck? Is it hips? What is it? It's really important to start to pay attention to those spaces. Oh, low back. Yeah, totally. Low back and hips. That's happening for me as well. I feel you on that one. Okay, so we're noticing low back tension. We're noticing hips, shoulders, right? So it's like all this stuff because we're all in different environments. We're in different chairs. We're not able to like work out as much as we once were. Our routines have been thrown off a little bit. And so we're going to practice a meditation on acceptance, and then we're going to do some shoulder work. So just getting into, I'm going to kick my legs back here so I could be a little more upright for you guys. Just noticing the points of contact on the floor. My feet are now touching the floor. The tops of my feet sitting on a cushion. You do not need a cushion. That is not required for meditation, I promise. Don't think we need the angle that low. Over here on Instagram. Okay, there we go. That feels better. And just breathe in and just noticing opening. I have like a little rib kick out action. We don't need to do that. Just trying to keep our ribs neutral, right? But we don't want to hunch and meet in the middle, and we don't want rib flaring either. So just sort of some space in the middle of just being upright. Breathing all the way into all of our lobes, maybe sticking your belly out as you inhale and then exhale. Just being here, being present with our bodies. It looks like Salvador is here joining us. Thank you. Hey, Chris is here. Good morning. We're just breathing in and breathing out. We're getting connected to the floor. You can even put your fingers on the floor at this point. Be really grounding. So placing your fingers on the floor. If you're sitting cross-legged, if you're sitting with your bum on the floor, however you are seated today, just touch the ground so you notice that connection. And we're sitting upright as we can without flaring our ribs, without rounding our backs, right? Finding that upright but not militant-like position. One of the mudras that I've been teaching, one of the hand gestures, which of course the name is definitely going to escape me right now, but we're going to place our fingers on the floor. That is a mudra. You're doing funky yoga. And if you're on Facebook, I cannot see you, so if you want to leave a comment, please do. And we're going to breathe in and then let's sigh it out together and get all that gunk, frustration, ickiness we're all feeling out together. What do you think? Let's do that again. So breathing in and then we're sighing it out real loud. Right? Feels really good. Like, let that feeling out, whatever that feeling is. And I have some posts actually going up later and throughout the week about what maybe we're all experiencing, just my few clinical guesses as to assessments as to what's going on. Are we feeling a little bit more present and grounded here? You can do whatever breath work you'd like, but I just like feeling like a sigh today. So I'm feeling like a Tina. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do some shoulder exercises. And so I'm going to turn around just so you can see what I'm doing. But we're basically going to reach our hands up over our head one at a time and touch the space right behind our necks and then reverse it and go back. And we're going to do up our back. So I'm going to turn around. So don't write anything terrible while I'm turning around. All right. See if we can do this. Can you see me? Oh, you can. Okay. So let's take our right hand up. You probably can't hear me. And we're just placing it here. And then we're going to take our right hand and we're going to go up our backs. And we're not like trying to get as high as we can. We're just getting where our body can get to. So let's do 3 of those if you can follow along. That's 1. 2. And 3. So I'm going to turn around. How was that? Oh, I turned around and lost all my Facebook followers. That's okay. So we're going to do the other side as well, but I'm going to face you in case you have any questions. You could post those right here in the feed. So this time we're going to do our left hand. So it goes up in the air and it goes behind our necks. So right, you can see my hand wiggling right here. We're just reaching there. And if you can get farther than me, awesome. I just don't get that far, especially right now, because my practice of yoga has definitely slowed down and become like very squished time-wise. And also I'm sitting in a really uncomfortable chair. So going up our back, see how my arm is bent? Again, I'm pretty tight, so you might be able to do more. Hey, Lindsay. So hand up overhead. We're going to do 3 of these, right? And I'm tilting, which is not help. Don't do that. Don't follow me here. I'm just super tight. And again, we're not like it's not a competition, right? There's nobody in the room with me right now. You never know. Dog or child might burst in, right? And we're breathing, which creates a little bit more space, right? But my hand is somewhere like right through my chest, like right through here. We'll do 3 of those. And even I'm doing it, right? I'm trying to shimmy my arm up as high as I can because I'm the one live on the screen. And if anyone has questions on Facebook or Instagram, please leave them in the chat. All right, I think we've done 3. How was that for everybody? That is one of my favorite things to do. And you can do them together as well. But I find that that's when everyone cheats, right? Because we've decided we need to do our most perfect yogi things, especially in a group setting class. When you're home alone, maybe you're not, right? But what you'll do is one hand goes up, this hand goes back, and you're so committed to getting your fingers to touch that you'll stick your chest out and you'll like shimmy and do all this funky stuff that throws everything off, and you will hurt your back, you will hurt your neck, you will hurt your shoulders. So that's why I like to teach it one-handed for a while in the beginning. And if you're a pro yogi, then go for it. Do whatever you gotta do. But for anyone who's just new to this and wants to start a practice and is feeling this shoulder tension I think we're collectively experiencing, it's a great way to get started in building some mobility and some space into your shoulders. And now we've lost track of our breath. Is that accurate? Okay. So let's get back to our breath. Return to where it all begins, where it all is. I'm going to go back to this position because it felt really good for me. So fingers touching the floor. We have 5 more minutes of our practice here. I've been noticing a lot of free stuff on the internet. There's a lot of lives. There are a lot of, what else? Videos watching people do stuff together. Hey, Crystal, right? And it's just so overwhelming. I've actually had people message me or in my Facebook group that are like, what do I do first? I want to do it all. And there's a lot of like pressure we have decided to put on ourselves to be super successful during our quarantines, which is really not helpful. So like trying to filter through the noise. That's why these are only 15 minutes. I've also been doing them for a while. So as I grab my cup of coffee and try to settle back in, share what mug you've got. Let's place our fingers on the ground, sides of our legs, right? My legs are a little splayed open because I'm sitting on a cushion. Hey, Crystal. Thanks for joining us. And so maybe float your eyes closed. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my kid is doing hilarious things downstairs. So embracing those sounds. Fingertips touching the floor. You can sigh it out. You can place your tongue, you can't see. It's at the top of my mouth to make this N breathing sound. Right, you make an N. It could be an ocean sound too, which means you've just been able to kind of close off some of your throat. If you're into that, that's awesome. It's not highly recommended if it's a new practice for you, but just being patient with your breath, being kind, just noticing the points of tension and notice where you're trying to force things, right? That shoulder exercise is all about not forcing it. Your arms can go where they can go today. That's it. It's not a competition. You're not competing with me. I'm not competing with you. I can't see you. So you might be better at that than me. You might have more flexibility. You also might have hypermobility, and so you're stretching beyond where you should be. We don't know. So just be chill, work with it, and learn to open your shoulders and not be so competitive. There is not going to be a winner at the end of this pandemic, crisis, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to hopefully collectively get through it together and be kind to each other, which is what we're seeing a lot of. It's not a competition. So wherever your hands can go behind your head is where they can go. Whatever silly shirt you're wearing today, great. All right, so let's be present and accept who we are as we are right now today. As our last few minutes tick down here. Breathe in fully with your upright position and breathe out. Float your eyes closed. Feel that connection to you as you are. Feel that connection to the ground. We're more present. We're more focused. Our hair is growing out funny. We can't get to the salon. We can't, access a lot of the self-care that maybe we did before. We're going to be okay with that. Our practice might not be as beautiful or as committed as we were to it because everything's sort of been turned upside down. But the way we go through this together is if we accept it and don't fight the reality. Right? Be with Tina, just on the floor going, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to go with it. All right, it's 7:15, so I'm going to sign off as to not contribute to the full overwhelm and noise of the internet and social media. So thank you so much for attending. Let's just close this exercise, our practice with, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to do a little bow. If that's not good for you, don't do that. Take a breath. You can think of something you're grateful for today. Maybe a little internal gratitude, what you're doing during this really hard time that you can be really proud of. Even if it's just not wearing pajama pants or changing into your fancy pajamas, right? So find a little gratitude for yourself, remembering you're doing the best you can in an incredibly challenging time. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being here. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram and Facebook at Grounded Therapist, or join my free Facebook group, Uncaged with Rachel. I have a live that I'm doing in my Facebook group later today. We're working on our anxious thoughts. So if you want to process one of them, you could do that with me live. Or at 2 o'clock Eastern, which is 11 a.m. Pacific, I'm doing a live with Fluffy, or Fluff. He is a musician who reviews music equipment on YouTube, and we're just going to talk about mental wellness with his audience. So stay tuned for that. We'll be live at 2 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of content coming my way. Hope you have a good day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.